Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore, and today we are witnessing a yoga called SODARANASA Yoga. That means there are three different variations of this yoga. The results: devoid of siblings, that is, the native will not have siblings at all, he will be the only child or she will be the only child. Far away from siblings, that is, being far away from brothers and sisters for a major part of the life. Bad relationship with siblings, which is very often seen because of bad positions of planets in this particular chart. So the criteria here, there are only two major criteria. That is, the third lord is in the eighth house with Mars. So the third lord in the eighth house with Mars. So what is the eighth house? It is the house of dissatisfaction, obstacles, hurdles, loss of desire. It is the house of desire, but the planet sitting there will become an obstacle for that particular desire. So, or you will be earning more for that. So, when the third lord goes to the eighth house and Mars, which is the Karaka, that is the signifier for the third house with regard to siblings, and its signification for other things also, but still Mars is a pure signification for siblings, and when it accompanies the third lord and it is sitting in the eighth house, it will cause a difficulty in any of these three things. So let us understand that. It also has to be and. I have put an and for and here, so that means it is an and that it should be aspected by malefics. That is, the eighth house should be either having a position, aspect, or conjunction of a malefic where the third lord and Mars are posited. So this is not a very rare combination, but it is not so easily found also. So let us put an example here. So I will take any one of the thing. I'll take the ascendant of Libra, where the third lord is Jupiter, and I am putting Jupiter here along with Mars with the malefic Saturn. So this is a very tough combination. This is very clearly satisfying this criteria. So if I put that, I have put D9. I don't know why I have taken D9 today, but anyway, let that be blank. So we'll take this here in the North Indian style. So we'll take the seventh house. So this will be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2. So this becomes the 8th house. So in the 8th house, we are putting the Lord itself, third Lord is Jupiter. This is the third house. The third Lord is Jupiter and it goes into the 8th house along with Mars and Saturn. So this is one of the examples. So let me put another example here. Good that I have used it. So I'll use this. I'll take two examples. So another example here is, let me not take Jupiter as the third lord. I'll take Saturn as the third lord. I have taken Sagittarius ascendant. Saturn being the third lord, this is the third house, the lord is Saturn and it is now placed in the 8th house. The 8th house, Saturn is placed in the 8th house along with Mars, the 12th lord and the 5th lord Mars. We don't need any malefics here, natural malefic Saturn itself, but still let me put a malefic there. This is a tough combination. It's a very tough combination. And why it's a very tough combination? Because Mars is debilitated along with Saturn and it is along with Ketu, which is another planet which actually does not want that particular signification of the planet Mars to flourish. So it will cut it off. So in the first example, though it looks that it is satisfying the majority or all the functionalities, but here still there is some softness. Why? Because it is Jupiter. And Saturn and Jupiter, though they are not fully enemies, they are neutrals. So there is a little bit of softness in this particular placement, but here it is very harsh. So we can consider the devoid of siblings is very strong in this particular case. So let me put a third example here in the D1 chart of the North Indian style. Okay. Third example would be involving the third house. Here we are only talking about the third lord in the eighth house along with Mars. What about the third house itself? Let us take the same example, that is Sagittarius ascendant 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are all sign numbers. So 11 means that is Aquarius. Aquarius, the Lord of Aquarius going to the 8th house. That is what we had put here. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let us say Saturn has gone to the 8th house. But what about the third house? Third house is very important. So if I put a Mercury along with Ketu in the third house, this is a very, very tough combination. And why is it so tough, boss? It is because for Sagittarius, the seventh lord is a Bhadaka. That is, Mercury is the seventh lord, the lord of Gemini. Seventh house is always here in North Indian charts. So we have 1, 4, 7, 10. So here the seventh lord is the lord of Gemini, which is Mercury, becomes a Badaka. Badaka means the one who is an obstructor. And he is along with Ketu in the third house. And when Saturn has gone to the 8th house, that is the third lord has gone to the 8th house. Yes, it is already suffering. The native is having a bad combination of Saturn in the 8th house, but for other things, aspects, Saturn in the 8th house will give longevity, good IO, excellent. But this is such a tough combination that this particular Sodaranasa yoga, that is loss of siblings or devoid of siblings, can be seen even in this combination. So the point is simple. If you see the third house malefically posited, forget about all the other combinations. If you see the third house malefically posited, the communications with siblings is not that great. Now, the question arises, what siblings, sir, whether it is uh, the younger siblings or the elder siblings? Now we'll come to the final perspective. If you have to see the elder siblings, you need to go to the 11th house. That is 3 houses behind the ascendant. 3 houses behind the ascendant. So then see how is the 11th house posited and how is the 11th lord. In this case, it is Sun. How is it posited? So if the 11th lord also goes to the 8th house or is aspected or posited conjoined with the 8th lord, and if there is a malefic influence on the 11th lord or the 11th house, then the relationships with the elder sibling will be tough, or the elder sibling will be over powerful, will take up all the finances, the money, the ancestral property, and leave you out in darkness. That not you out, sorry, the way to tell that the person will suddenly go into difficulty because that he will lose the trust with his own elder siblings. So the same thing can happen the other way around also, that the younger sibling will take away everything, usurp the money and the family, and the elder sibling will be pushed out. These things are called malicious intented. In the intent itself is malicious. They have a negative ideology with regard to pushing away everybody so that they can get the money or get the ancestral property. But there are many cases in which families are very happy, they are very much together, the siblings are beautifully together, but because of distance, they live far away from each other. Like, for example, not this one, this one. This happens when the 12th Lord is strongly posited and is aspecting. The 12th Lord should be either in the third house or the third from the third house. So, what is that? So, if this is the 12th Lord, this is Mercury, so it should be in the third house or the third from the third house, the fifth house. So, if this is placed and you have a moderate chart, what will happen is that it will push you far away from the place of birth or far away from the place where your siblings are. So, it is always like if you have the 12th Lord assertively posited in a chart and is having the aspect, conjunction, and position in such a way that it is influencing the third house or the eighth house where the third Lord is posited in this case, then people will be living, natives will be living far away from siblings, though the relationship would be normal and everything is fine. So this is how the examples are given, but I have a lot of examples to give. One by one, I'll be putting up examples. So it will be repetitive in certain cases, but still it will be different charts. So repetition is also, repetition and practice in astrology is to be done like in iterations, like hundreds and thousands of times, so that you can become strong astrologers with good base. Thank you very much for today's class.